Hey guys, this is Patty B within the Holler. I got another firearm I'd like to share with y'all. This is the Colt King Cobra Target, chambered in 22 long rifle. Yeah, the King Cobra Target, 10-shot double action, all stainless steel revolver. You know, that Colt introduced a couple years ago, but they're pretty pricey and have been a little hard to find. And then I noticed that Colt is currently, they got a $100 rebate on most of their revolvers. And I saw Battlehawk Armory was selling blend versions, which this is, for pretty low price. So, hey, with a $100 rebate and a good price to boot, you know, I was just gonna have to pull the trigger on that. Specs on this, got a 4¼ inch barrel, although they do make a 6, I believe. And this thing weighs 34 ounces on my scale. Features, we'll start down here with this grip. Nice rubber grip, feels pretty good. I kind of wish it, you know, came with a wood grip, but it is what it is. The grip is a little small. I do wish it was a little bigger, and I'm gonna look for options to put a wood grip on here. I just feel it fits this pistol as a target pistol a little bit better. The controls on this, cylinder release, like all Colts, pull to the rear and pop out your cylinder. Get you a good look at the cylinder there. You can see that the rounds are just gonna lay in there flush. It's not countersunk in there. And we'll see how that works out for us. A trigger on this, the trigger's not bad. The double action, a little heavy. It measured right at 10 pounds with just a little bit of stacking, pretty smooth. And the single action was right at 4 pounds, pretty nice. Another little minor gripe I have is both the trigger and the hammer are very narrow. You know, for a target pistol, I feel like they should be a little bit thicker on both, but once again, you know, you get what you get. Got a nicely knurled ejector rod, a full underlug. You can see the King Cobra on there, looks pretty good. You do have a 3-slot vented rib, which looks really nice. The sights, got a nice fiber front and a windage and elevation adjustable rear. Now, just looking at it, this rear sight looks very similar to the one I had on my Colt Python, the new version Python, which I didn't love a whole lot, but we'll see how this one goes. Just my little set screw here for windage stripped out immediately on that, and I replaced it with the Wilson. I don't know if Wilson makes a version for this, but if this one gives me trouble, which hopefully it doesn't, I will end up putting a Wilson sight on that because it's just so much better. You've got a real nice looking target crown there, recessed a little bit, looks really good. The front sight is also easily replaceable if you don't want fiber. You know, a lot of people like the you know, the brass bead on there, looks really good. But yeah, I just picked this up from my FFL. Haven't put a round through it yet, so pretty excited about that. You know, should be a fun day. Everybody loves to shoot rimfire, and we'll take this outside, put a whole bunch of rounds through it, come back in, and tell you what I think about this thing. All right, we're back here about 10 yards. Got some Remington Golden bullets. Let's take our first shots with the King Cobra, see where it's hitting for us. All right, I don't know if you can see, but shooting pretty good. It's a touch to the right, but close enough for now. What do you think about that thing?
It's a sweet shooting little gun, man. It is nice.
What do you think about the trigger?
Trigger's pretty good.
Sights?
Sights are nice. They're definitely up close sights, but it's easy to pick them up. Very nice.
Nice. All right, backed up to 15 yards or so. See what kind of hits we can get. All right, pretty easy with the big plates. We'll try the smaller one. All right, that small bottom left spinner there, I think it's a 4-inch plate. Let's see if we can get some hits with this. All right, not too bad. Let's try that 40-yard plate. I don't know if you can see, but there's a doe out there at about 150 yards. But we're going to shoot at 40 yards. Well, she didn't like that. She ran off. But yeah, shooting pretty good. One thing I will say is that you need to make sure when you're loading a round into the cylinder that it's completely flush. If one of your chambers is a little sticky or it's dirty or whatever, and it sticks out just a little, it drags when you're pulling double action. That is one advantage to having the countersunk chambers on some cylinders like the Smith. But yeah, just make sure your rounds are all the way in so they don't drag when you're pulling the trigger. All right, back inside from shooting the Colt King Cobra Target 22, and this thing is just a blast to shoot. I had a couple buddies over, and over a 2-day stretch, we put 500 rounds or so through this thing, and everybody loved it. Everybody enjoyed it. It's just a blast to shoot. Everyone loves shooting 22 long rifle, and man, this thing's pretty cool. Definitely pretty accurate. You know, I didn't shoot it for groups, but you could definitely hit targets out at range with this thing. The trigger's really nice. The sights are pretty excellent. The only thing I would change with this is I sure would like a nice wood grip on this. Maybe a little bit wider of a trigger and a little bit wider of a hammer. But other than that, man, this thing's pretty awesome. Zero issues with this firing. No, malfunctions of any sort. This thing fed all kind of ammo and fed it well. Shot it all good. So zero problems out of that. So, with the $100 rebate Colt has going on right now, man, this thing's pretty tough to beat. If you can find it at a decent price, get that $100 rebate. This is definitely a fun revolver, and you can get $100 off of it right now. So if you're looking for a double action revolver, this might be the thing for you because it's definitely pretty cool. So, well, there you go, guys. Colt King Cobra, Target 22. Y'all have a nice day.